Hey everyone, my name is David Dunbar, or the Theme Park Evangelist. I am doing another home video because I haven't done one in a little while, and also I'm not doing a whole lot. Considering I just got off a 5-day work week at Disney, I'm sorry, and also, just had a glass of juice. And also just worked at Publix today and last weekend. I am actually going on my 13th day of work in a row if I get called in by Disney tomorrow, considering Publix doesn't need me. And I already told Disney to put my name on the board that I'm interested in coming in. Tuesday I'm keeping off completely as I want to go to Typhoon Lagoon. And I just kind of ruined the fact that, yes, I am going to Typhoon Lagoon, and I'm going to do a vlog on that because I've always wanted to go see Misadventure Falls ever since the Tim Trackers vlog back a while ago. I've been very interested in going to Typhoon Lagoon myself. And actually, the surprising part is I don't have to actually pay to get into Typhoon Lagoon. No, neither of the Disney water parks are costing me any money until the 22nd of December. Why? With the sudden success of Volcano Bay, Disney water parks are free for cast members and half off for their guests as long as the cast member shows their ID. Anyway, so in tonight's vlog, which of course it's around 12:40 in the morning, and it's like Sunday during January. Sunday, August the 6th, somewhere around there, a week away from the Great Movie Ride closing. I wanted to talk about how I feel about a lot of these sudden changes going to Disney World. Some of them were kind of expected, rumored, all that good stuff. And then, of course, some of them were like, whoa, where did that come from, you know? Well, obviously, the first one I want to talk about is the Great Movie Ride closing to make way for the Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway. Now, I still don't know a whole lot about the Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway, though I'm very excited about it. I'm very disappointed that Disney would choose the Grand Movie Ride to be closed down. I'm not that depressed. I am a little depressed. I'm upset enough that I've been thinking about it every day. You know, because I grew up with the ride. The ride was 4 years old when I was born. So it's kind of a part of me, you know? And to see such an iconic attraction just go, you know, bye-bye. It's like, what happened, you know? Well, I was definitely not expecting something like that. I'm just saying. And another part that was so cool about that ride was the fact that it was really the only way we could go look back at some of Hollywood's greatest films, like The Wizard of Oz, for crying out loud. Like, how can we snub our nose at that movie? Back in the 1930s, I believe it was made. And yet they're tearing it out. Everything go. That's like the best recreation of The Wizard of Oz I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not referring to, I'm trying to, you're probably thinking, well, that's not, you know, true, or that seems a little unlikely, something like that. And then I would say, well, there is a point that there have been several recreations of The Wizard of Oz, and I'm completely aware of that. But at the same time, I think that Disney recreating the whole scene where the Wicked Witch of the West shows up in Oz and Dorothy's first arrival there, like that whole part, it was like, wow, you know? And the part where Dorothy, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion are all looking off into Emerald City in the distance. Now, my friend George Wagner doesn't care so much about the Wizard of Oz. He was more interested in the Alien movie. I like Alien as well. It's a good movie. I know enough about it that whenever I go on the ride, I get a little excited. You know, this is Alien. This is the first movie that Sigourney Weaver started and made her famous. I'm sure she's been in others, but this is the one that made her famous. It's a Ridley Scott film. Everybody knows who Ridley Scott is, mainly because of that movie. Like, I'm sorry, I am not thinking clearly tonight. Obviously, I'm tired, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. Yes, the Great Movie Ride is definitely um, one of those attractions that we're going to miss, and there's no doubt about it. It's definitely been a part of us. It opened back when the park opened back in May 1st, 1989. I might have mentioned that in my latest theme park vlog, which of course I seem to compile all of my theme park vlogs together. I've been thinking about organizing my YouTube channel and making a new playlist for the Universal vlogs and the Disney vlogs, because I have a whole bunch of Universal ones and I have way too many Disney ones now, considering there was at one point where nobody was seeing any Disney videos and now it's like all the time. Well, that's what happens when you have free entry into a place. You just go wherever you go. And the other part is the fact that I work for Disney. So, well, not just that, but the fact that I grew up going to Disney. So obviously Disney was my first choice of being my career for the next 2-3 years. And also the fact that Disney always speaks to me more than Universal does. Nothing against Universal, but there's just something about Disney that I just absolutely love. And just working there, I can see why I like him. I always liked it as a guest. It's even better to work at, in my opinion, because now you have the benefits of the guest, and also now you have the benefit of working there. You get free stuff and discounts, and you get to meet people. You get to make some great friendships. You get to go on backstage tours. Like, I never would have thought that working at Disney would be this exciting. I never would have thought that. And don't get me wrong, I love Publix very much, and I mean, I'm obviously in my Publix uniform right now. I've been wearing it all day, practically. I mean, I love Publix enough to the point where I eventually want to move up north to the Panhandle, study my real career, which is in ministry, and stay with Publix the whole time. Disney is just to help me save them. That's why I'm trying to pick up so many hours. Like, my dad thinks I'm trying to kill myself. I'm like, yeah, you could say that. I'm just so determined to make as many hours as possible, because the quicker I can get the money I need for BCF, the faster I can move out of here, the faster I can quit Disney. Which, at the same time, some people will be like, oh my goodness, David, why would you want to do that, you know? Like, you just began, like, literally. Like, I know. But I don't want to, get too involved in Disney to the point where I don't want to leave. Anyway, moving on. So, another ride that we are going to see go, as of next Sunday as well, is the Universe of Energy. I actually have no sympathy for this ride going at all, but I want to go on a more personal level because I didn't really go into it that much at all before. The original version was just all about the universe and evolution, yada yada yada. They decided to redo it a number of years ago, and they involved Ellen DeGeneres and Bill Nye the Science Guy in it, trying to make it a little cool and add on the Jeopardy stuff to it. Like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then they took a nosedive and decided to bring Ellen DeGeneres back 65 million years ago, which I don't believe in any of that stuff. And that, every time I hear any evolutionary talk, I get very disappointed, very distressed, all that good stuff. because that's not the way I was brought up. It's not the truth. I grew up listening to the Earth is 6,000 years old. End of story. You can argue with me all you want that it's not true, but I know it is. I mean, look around and look at the oceans. They're not full of salt. If the Earth was 1,000,000 years old, I can promise you, not bet you, but promise you that you could walk from North America over to Europe or South America over to Africa, vice versa, whatever. I mean, there are other examples, but I'm a little too tired to think about that right now. So, honestly, seeing the Universe of Energy go to make way for a Guardians of the Galaxy ride is one of the best decisions I have ever seen Disney make. And I was like, yes, thank you so much, Disney. That was a good move on your part. No, I'm only talking about rides closing down to make way for new stuff or old stuff that might have closed about a year or two ago to make way for new stuff. I'm not talking about new stuff that's coming into the park that is not actually replacing anything at all, but it's just an addition to the park. I don't want to talk about that stuff. I've already done that all. I just want to talk about all these sudden changes like rides closing down and stuff like that. And another thing that I want to mention is notice the Hollywood Studios has been the main subject tonight. Why is that? Maybe it's because of the fact that the Hollywood Studios is getting the biggest makeover of all time, considering that Animal Kingdom is the most recent park to get a makeover, and that was this year that it got opened up its new land, and that was just tearing out something that was just a temporary place because Beastly Kingdom didn't work. So honestly, Disney didn't lose anything out of tearing out Camp Minnie and Mickey. I could bet you that. And the funny thing is, I haven't even noticed any remnants of Camp Minnie and Mickey. Whenever I go in there, I would have never known it was Camp Minnie and Mickey. It's so much bigger now. You stepped into another world, honestly. You have no idea what it used to be. You just couldn't tell. Disney put so much money into this, and it's so evident. But I think Hollywood Studios is getting the biggest makeover ever. Like the last time that a theme park besides Animal Kingdom got a huge makeover was Magic Kingdom when Disney World decided, or Walt Disney World decided to, or just the Disney company, whatever, decided to upgrade Magic Kingdom and add on the addition of New Fantasyland. That was like one of the biggest upgrades to the Magic Kingdom I had ever heard of, or to Walt Disney World, period. I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like adding on more restaurants, a new ride, actually two new rides if we think about it, and character meet and greets. Like I was just beyond impressed how much work was involved in New Fantasyland, and I absolutely love New Fantasyland. Of course, New Fantasyland was the final end to the old Snow White ride. Thank goodness, because I hated that ride with a passion. But the attractions I really want to talk about that we've honestly lost since then are all the Hollywood studios, because if we think about it, Magic Kingdom hasn't lost anything yet since New Fantasyland opened. Epcot is losing its first attraction in like over a decade or two, somewhere around there. First time since Horizons closed down. That sounds about right. Yeah, I think this is the biggest change that's come to Epcot since Horizons closed. To make way for Mission Space, if we remember correctly. Of course, Animal Kingdom hasn't closed down anything at all to make way for anything. So that's the reason why everybody's like making such a big deal about the Hollywood Studios closing down the Great Movie Ride. And also, if we think about it, this is not the first thing that Hollywood Studios has closed down that was iconic. Don't forget about the Backlot Tour. Over where Toy Story Land is going, gone. like, it's hard to believe how much room it actually took up. That and Catastrophe Canyon is like, wow, that was all right there. That's what's going to be Toy Story Land. That's how much room was back there. Like sometimes we forget how big Hollywood Studios used to be before they gutted out everything. Like, let's look at the other side of the park. Remember when Lightsmith's Action used to be there, and Residential Street way back, and Streets of America where the Osborne lights used to be? Wasn't that huge? Like, the Osborne lights were so popular that the Streets of America were just pretty much packed full. You couldn't even move. And the Streets of America weren't small. They were huge, as I said more than once, because I wanted to make a point. There was a lot of land on that side too. Like, I looked at an aerial footage or photo of Hollywood Studios, all the construction. I'm just like, that's how much room is behind those walls. That's how much stuff they just gutted right out. It's like 20 acres of land we lost. Like, and an acre is a lot of land. Just imagine that times 20. That's a lot. Like, the Hollywood Studios mainly was dedicated towards the film industry. That's the reason why there's so much empty land, unneeded land, because of the fact that that's what the park was there for at the time, was the film industry. And now they're trying to turn it into a normal theme park just like the others. And everybody's like, well, this is not the Hollywood Studios I grew up going to. I mean, look at poor Studio Catering Company, which was a restaurant behind Muppets, in front of Lightsmith's Action, gone. Another restaurant I grew up going to, and that was torn out a few years ago. Like, sometimes it's hard to believe that all of these changes that have come to Hollywood Studios all began in 2014. And to think that it would only take 4 to 5 years just to complete this. This is the biggest construction project I've ever seen Disney do, other than the big, huge enhancement Disney made to Disney Springs, which is finally done, by the way. I mean, yeah, they're still adding on the odd restaurant every now and then, but for the most part, the two biggest changes that Disney has gone through is, number one, Downtown Disney being turned into Disney Springs, and then the Hollywood Studios being revamped big time. And to think that I'm working there while all this construction is going on. Let me remind you, back in the day when Downtown Disney first opened, there was just Westside, Pleasure Island, and Village Marketplace. And to think back then when it was called Lake Buena Vista, because that's the lake that it's off of, that's why the whole Disney area is pretty much in Lake Buena Vista. And now look at Disney Springs. You still got the west side, and then you got all these new shops, all these new restaurants. And then you got this middle section, which is just blown up beyond belief. And then you got a Village Marketplace, which is pretty much about the same. And to think that was another project that took about 5 years. Not to mention the fact that Disney completely gutted out the parking lot in front of Village Marketplace. They kept the one over next to West Side, but they placed in 2 parking garages. And now it's no longer a pain in the butt to park over there. In fact, it's actually super easy. And now Disney Springs is more popular than ever before, and I actually like the changes. Anyway, I've been rambling on for quite some time. I really enjoyed talking to you guys about these sudden changes that have come to Disney World or are coming to Disney World. I'll make sure I put in the description below that this video is talking about, or we'll talk about past enhancements that Disney has made since 2012 all the way up to the present, even as slightly into the future, slightly. But the main emphasis is going to be on Hollywood Studios because of the fact that that's the biggest park that's getting a lot of attractions gutted out or have been gutted out in the past. And the last attraction to be gutted out is Great Movie Ride to complete the Hollywood Studios revamping. But yeah, I'll see you guys Tuesday when I do my Typhoon Lagoon vlog. And always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great night, and peace out. Not pee out. Peace out. I know TJ seems to think that.